How much do you really understand about female orgasms? If you're like most men, the truthful answer is probably not very much, and that's not your fault. This is not something taught in school, openly discussed in society, or formally explained anywhere. Most men grow up with little real knowledge about female sexual pleasure, which often leads to confusion or frustration in the bedroom. That's exactly why I'm here today, to give you a complete guide to female orgasms, including what they are, how to recognize them, the different types women can experience, and practical tips to help her reach climax more consistently. By the time you finish this video, you'll have a clear understanding of female pleasure and the tools to make her crave more of it. I'm Dr. Hana Kim, men's sexual health expert. Every week, I share insider insights into what women truly want and the most effective ways to connect with any woman, whether it's building attraction, boosting sexual chemistry, or improving intimacy. If you want to stay updated on these tips, hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a video. Now, let's return to the main topic. What exactly is an orgasm, and how can you tell if she's had one? Surprisingly, there's no single universally accepted definition. Scientists understand the physical processes and sensations involved, but interpretations still vary. From a practical perspective, an orgasm can be described as the pleasurable release of sexual tension that builds during arousal. For men, this usually includes ejaculation, a faster heart rate, and a powerful feeling of relief. For women, it presents differently. The muscles of the vagina and lower abdomen contract rhythmically. Breathing and heart rate increase, and some women may even experience ejaculation, commonly referred to as squirting. The female orgasm unfolds in 4 primary stages. Stage 1 is excitement, when arousal begins. Nipples become firm, the vagina lubricates, and anticipation grows. Stage 2 is the plateau, where sexual tension intensifies and pleasure spreads throughout the body. Stage 3 is climax, the peak moment when tension is released in a full body wave of ecstasy. Stage 4 is resolution, when the body relaxes, sensitivity decreases, and a deep sense of contentment and calm settles in. One key difference between men and women is that women can often experience multiple orgasms without needing a recovery period as long as stimulation continues. This unique ability is why women can sometimes reach climax several times in succession. Now, let's break down the 6 most common types of female orgasms every man should understand to become more skilled. In the bedroom. First, the clitoral orgasm. Most women are capable of experiencing this one. The clitoris is not just an external button. It extends internally and contains thousands of nerve endings, making it extremely sensitive. Direct or indirect stimulation through touching, rubbing, or licking increases blood flow and arousal, creating a powerful urge for release. The clitoris is essentially the pleasure center of the female body. Second, the vaginal orgasm. These are usually achieved through stimulation of the G-spot, located about 1 to 2 inches inside the upper vaginal wall. It feels like a spongy ridge and is connected to a network of pleasure-producing nerves. Penetration can stimulate it, but often fingers or certain positions work best. The vagina also contains the S-spot and C-spot, deeper pleasure zones that can be activated during penetration or with toys. The G-spot, however, remains the most common path to intense vaginal pleasure. Positions like reverse cowgirl or bent over variations allow deeper contact with this area, increasing stimulation and the likelihood of climax. Third, the anal orgasm. While less commonly discussed, anal stimulation can indirectly produce orgasm by activating nearby erogenous zones. The anus sits close to the clitoris and vagina, connected through the perineum and linked to pelvic floor muscles that support vaginal sensation. Proper stimulation in this area can amplify overall pleasure and contribute to orgasm. Fourth, the nipple orgasm. Some women are able to climax solely from breast or nipple stimulation. Nipples contain many nerve endings and activate the same brain regions as genital stimulation, making them highly sensitive and erogenous. While research doesn't fully explain how nipple orgasms occur or how many women experience them, they remain a powerful addition to sexual play that should never be ignored. Fifth, the blended orgasm. This happens when more than one erogenous zone is stimulated at the same time, for example, the clitoris and G-spot together. The result is an incredibly intense experience, essentially merging two orgasms into one mind-melting release. The most common blend involves clitoral and G-spot stimulation, but other combinations, including nipples, can also be explored. Sixth, the squirting orgasm. Some women release fluid during orgasm, often associated with G-spot stimulation. Not every woman can or will squirt, and it may only happen occasionally. Understanding this phenomenon can add variety and excitement to your intimacy. Adding excitement to sexual experiences, but it's not a requirement for pleasure or fulfillment. Now that you understand the main orgasm types, let's talk about the real secret to helping women reach climax more consistently, and it may surprise you. The key isn't technique, size, or effort. It's presence and listening. The more you fixate on making her orgasm, the more pressure you introduce, and that pressure can actually reduce pleasure for both of you. Women don't need an orgasm to enjoy intimacy. What matters most is feeling connected, supported, and emotionally engaged. When you remove the obsession with climax, you allow her to relax, stay present, and experience pleasure naturally. Another critical factor is arousal before physical intimacy. The more turned on a woman is beforehand, the deeper the pleasure she'll feel, and the greater her chances of climax. Flirting, teasing, and sexually charged conversations act as verbal foreplay, building anticipation and excitement. This applies to all women, new partners, long-term relationships, or marriages that span decades. Women respond to playful, suggestive interactions that heighten desire and prepare them for physical closeness. To sum it up, orgasms shouldn't be treated like a checklist or finish line. The real goal is creating pleasure, connection, and excitement for both partners. Learn the different types of female orgasms, explore stimulation zones, build arousal through teasing and flirting, and most importantly, relax and enjoy the experience yourself. The more confident and present you are, the more likely she is to reach climax and want more. Remember, sexual satisfaction isn't just about technique. It goes far beyond that. True pleasure in a relationship comes from attunement, responsiveness, and genuine connection. It's not about ticking boxes or following rigid routines. It's about being present, noticing her cues, understanding what she enjoys, and responding in a way that makes her feel deeply seen and desired. When you tune into her body, her breathing, her subtle sounds, and even the way she moves, you send a powerful message that her pleasure matters just as much as your own. This kind of attentiveness can completely transform the experience, making it more intimate, more exciting, and far more satisfying for both of you. By learning these principles and applying them consistently, you become a lover who doesn't just satisfy, but excites, surprises, and delights her in ways she may never have expected. Imagine being able to sense what she enjoys before she even says a word, knowing exactly when to change the pace, when to increase pressure, or when to tease just enough to leave her craving more. That level of responsiveness doesn't just make sex better. It builds trust, deepens emotional intimacy, and strengthens your bond. When both partners focus on shared pleasure instead of performance, anxiety disappears and pressure fades. Sex becomes a space for fun, exploration, and connection rather than a task to complete or a goal to achieve. And if you truly want to elevate your skills, it's essential to build sexual tension and attraction long before intimacy begins. Tools like the F formula help with this by offering a step-by-step approach to flirting, creating anticipation, and making a woman feel desired and excited well before the bedroom. Flirting is verbal foreplay. It's playful banter, subtle teasing, and sending signals that make her heart race. Over time, this builds sexual chemistry that dramatically enhances intimacy. Women respond to this engagement because it primes both body and mind for pleasure, increasing the chances of climax and making every encounter more intense and memorable. By applying these insights, understanding orgasm types, removing pressure, increasing arousal, and focusing on mutual pleasure, you'll not only increase her likelihood of climax, but also deepen emotional intimacy and transform your relationship. Great lovers aren't defined by technique alone. They're defined by how well they connect, communicate, and create an environment where both partners feel safe, excited, and fully present. Over time, these skills become natural and instinctive, and your partner will begin to crave your touch, your attention, and your presence emotionally as much as physically. In short, mastering these principles doesn't just make you better in bed. It makes you a partner who understands her desires, responds to her needs, and creates moments of genuine joy and connection. This isn't about racing to the finish line or obsessing over orgasm. It's about sharing the journey, exploring pleasure together, and celebrating the bond you build along the way. When you embrace this approach, the rewards extend.